Hello, sir. We have few questions that would be very helpful for our participants. The first question is, how can fintech and wealth tech empower innovators and entrepreneurs in India's Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities?
So wealth and money is all about trust and accountability. So what fintech and wealth tech does is, leveraging the technology, it brings in trust and accountability to the people. It brings in high quality advice, in front of the people which are not accessible to the tier 2, tier 3, sections of the society. So let me give you a quick example. So for example, there is a wealth manager who is actually advising high net worth individual based out of Mumbai or Hyderabad. The sort of similar set of advice, can be given to someone who is sitting in a tier 2, tier 3 with the help of technology. So build in products and the processes in such a way that there is a clear understanding of what the product is, the pros and cons of the product, and then also tell them whether the product actually suits to the risk appetite of the investor or not. See, at the end of the day, you should not sell the products, left, right, and front. It's all about understanding the investor goal, risk appetite, etc. So that's where the wealth tech, plays a very important role in reaching out to the last mile in providing solutions to the investor based on their risk appetite and goals.
So the second question is, what are the key skills GRIP 3.0 participants should develop to thrive in the digital first economy? And also, what's your message to students on building for Bharat, not just for India's metros?
So the first thing I would say is, have empathy. Point number one. Point number two is have a customer-centric approach. So the problem should always be, looked from the customer's angle. Okay, say if we are building a product or building a service, am I solving the customer problem at the end of the day or not, right? I think as rightly Jeff Bezos say, Jeff Bezos, never bothered about competition. He always bothered about customer service. He always put customer service at the forefront. So what I would say is, when we start looking from the customer lens or angle, whether this problem is solved for the customer, whether this problem can bring some ease to the customers, whether it is reduction in time or increase in revenues, so that's where your product or innovation will be highly successful. So that's like the most important thing that needs to be taken into consideration. The second point is also think through have a design thinking and principles approach, and I think which most of the GRIP students will learn in the coming days. Thinking from that angle also will make your product the better and better. Okay, that's point number two. Number three, last but not the least, say if we are building a product, again keep yourself in the shoes of that product, and then say, if someone gives me that product, would I use that product or not? Okay, so if you feel that I need a particular feature, might be the navigation is not good, might be this is like the other way of navigating, this could be improved, that is where your answers will actually come from. So empathy, customer centric approach, design, principles and thinking, these are the three main factors, and you should lead very good innovative, you should be able to build very good innovative products.
So, and the last question is, what lessons from global startup ecosystems can be applied to grassroots innovation in India?
So rather than saying the global startup, I would always say think from how you can actually build it for India. India is very unique in its own sense. We have different set of languages. Every state has its own cultures. So how can you build something which is unique and suitably positioned for the Indian audience? So again, here let me take a very quick example, right? So when you're building the apps or the products, what happens on the other side is, of course, there is a space consideration, but especially in the US, if you talk about iPhone, etc. and all, but that actually becomes much more prominent from the Indian context. So for example, most of the people in tier 2, tier 3 or Bharat, will not have iPhones. They will not have 512 GBs or 1 terabyte of this space. Also, they might not have access to huge amounts of internet, unlimited amounts of internet. They have small packs that they recharge on a regular basis. So if you are developing a product for Bharat or tier 2 or tier 3, so you need to ensure that whatever app you are building actually fits onto their mobile, and it is also usable even if the internet is offline. Okay, so there are certain ways to build a product on a on those lines. So think from how my app, first of all, obviously it has to solve a problem, that's a different factor altogether, but also how this app can be customized to my audience, even if the external factors are not cooperating, how can that be used. So thinking from that lens will always will give you new innovative solutions and the thought process, and so that's pretty much it.